It lays the predicate and the foundation for the development of a weather satellite that will permit man to determine the world's cloud layer and ultimately to control the weather, and he who controls the weather will control the world. It lays the predicate for the steps necessary to send a man to the moon.
Who are you?
I'm LaFonda.
What are you doing here?
I'm waiting for Kip.
Kip?
I made this for you!
There will be certainly what we call the black swans, the unpleasant surprises which will come in our way. We definitively will have to face other surprises, black swans as they are called, maybe different kinds of viruses.
But also there will be a surprise outbreak.
Most of the work we're going to do to be ready for pandemic 2, I call this pandemic 1.
There will be certainly what we call the black swans.
It looks like a refugee camp, but it's right here in America. 50 families are living in RVs and trailers in this encampment in North Carolina, and they're facing increasingly harsh conditions. They were all displaced by Hurricane Helene, which destroyed 70,000 homes back in September. Now winter storms and sub-freezing temperatures gripping the South are making life intolerable for them and so many others who have already lost everything and feel abandoned. Shauna is living in a trailer in the camp called Haven on the Hill.
I'm sorry. It's been really hard, but it really changes you.
The families are living like refugees, dependent on donations of food, water, and propane gas. The food is stored in a large tent.
All of these people living in trailers, living in tents in this deep freeze 4 months after the hurricane hit. Would you ever think that something like this could happen in this country?
No. I would think that they'd be more taken care of and I wouldn't have to hear about people freezing to death.
There's the motorhome that we're staying in.
Dee Dee Buckner is sleeping in a donated camper outside the ruins of her house.
Some days you wake up and you're freezing. We're not getting the help that we should be getting.
She is hoping that will change following President Trump and First Lady Melania's visit to the storm-ravaged state today.
What's your message to the president?
President Trump, please don't fail us.
Powerful earthquake that struck late today right off Alaska, a 7.3 magnitude quake right off the coast, triggering a tsunami warning across some 700 miles. In fact, families were warned to move to higher ground. Let's get right to ABC's Kana Whitworth with the images coming in. And Kana, what do we know so far?
Yeah, David, that 700 miles you mentioned there runs along the southern coast of Alaska as well as the Alaskan Peninsula. And this happened after a magnitude 7.3 earthquake was recorded off the coast. It actually struck about 50 miles south of Sandpoint. So people there, David, bracing for large waves, residents and visitors racing to higher ground or moving further inland if they can. Tremors from the earthquake were felt throughout the region. Also, alarms were sounding in some of those larger communities like Kodiak, but also David here mentioning that the warning was downgraded to an advisory, and then that was canceled. David.
Kana, we appreciate it.
This is absolutely a punch to the gut for people here in Kerrville, Texas. We are along the Guadalupe. We are getting heavy downpours right now. Our phones just went off and alerted us that anyone in the river has to get out because they're expecting the river to reach flood stage once again a little over a week after catastrophic flooding here claimed the lives of 129 people across the state of Texas. Many of them were young campers at Camp Mystic, and that's what this green color symbolizes, the memory of those campers there. We will bring you the latest on this, but search efforts in the water at the very least on hold while we have heavy downpours here already causing some flooding in the street.
there's no way in there. Look.
Oh, I hear some Jeep.
This morning, San Antonio Fire Department giving what they have called their final update on the death toll following Thursday morning's flooding across San Antonio. 13 bodies have been recovered. Of those, the vast majority were found on the northeast side along Loop 410 in Perrin-Bidal, where over a dozen cars were swept off the frontage road and into the Salado Creek Greenway. One body was found just a few miles north of that, and then the final body was found on the west side, Highway 90 near Leon Creek. So of those bodies, 7 have been identified. The youngest of those victims was 28 years old. The oldest was 61. Again, more still need to be identified, so those numbers can change a little bit. But the fire department did say that there are no more missing, and so this concludes the search and rescue efforts across San Antonio.
Iowa, Russia, India, and Spain the last 24 hours. But in this, I noticed something very odd. Is it possible that there's a correlation between all the floods and the new research paper that came out that insinuated, not saying it is, but insinuated a reversal of the ocean currents? The fact checks have been awfully weird about this research paper. You can see right here and pause if you want. They're kind of running around the fact of whether or not it is happening. But instead of allowing rational equations, they're saying it's not specifically stated, therefore it's not true. I'm not saying it is true. But really quickly, let me show you what the paper says. If you want to read it yourself, just type this in. Basically, it's stating that there's a melt-off of ice in Antarctica, but they figured, because the way they know everything works, that the fresh water would go to the bottom of the ocean. But instead of that, they're seeing a very high salinity on the very top of the ocean, not allowing ice to form around Antarctica. So in theory, things are moving differently in the ocean as usual. So fact check it straight, I'm not saying there's a reversal. But by all accounts, it does appear that the water's going a different direction. And of course, there's no correlation at all between the floods and the ocean, and completely 1000% unrelated, not relevant whatsoever. It's pretty wild how we can use frequency and electricity is frequency to change the properties, flow, and even viscosity of the water itself. And water temperature can change the viscosity, and frequency can change the friction in the water. And this right here is a formula on how they can harness the power of water. And again, unrelated, completely not relevant whatsoever, NOAA took to the air right after the leader of the United States left. Wonder what they were doing. We're living in some crazy times. Is Antarctica about to be hot again?
So what just happened in Texas is absolutely devastating. Prayers to the families. And so I've read anywhere between 25 and 40 feet within 4 hours. Does that sound normal to you guys? So this map right here shows 4 different areas in Texas where they do the cloud seeding. This is right out in the open. They tell us this is what we do. We inject all of these chemicals up in the sky to create rain. And where this flood happened was right in between 2 of them right here. And so it sucks to even mention this because people are like, oh, this is disrespectful. But I think it's disrespectful if we don't bring it up. This is very suspect how quickly this happened.
Rescuing people right there. We're looking.
Do much. The water was coming so fast. It was gone. Everything was gone. And then we started seeing the cabins floating from the other RV parks, floating down the river. We started seeing cars with lights on and people honking inside their cars. And they just were floating away. And it was pitch black. We had 28 RVs parked in here. And they're all gone. Every single one of them is gone.
First they said, would you mind moving your RV?
Yes.
So that we can get in to help people. And within 5 minutes it changed from would you move your RV to get out of town.
Yeah.
So we got the dog, threw it in the truck, got my wife, and we literally just left with the clothes we had on our back.
When I woke up, the water was up to my 2 foot into my RV, and I grabbed my dog and my wallet, and I tried to get out of my RV, and a truck had me trapped. So I finally got out, and I just hear screaming, kids and the family, and
we heard ladies and children crying for help in the middle. 3 big trees right there. That's where they were staying.
I tried to swim over and had my dog, and some guy grabbed me out, and I tried to go help the family, and I couldn't get to him.
Lady screaming.
I know.
Help, help, help.
It
was pitch black. There was nothing we could do about it.
Not just you.
And
we had over 50 rescuers in here.
And nobody could do
with
anything.
Boats and everything. They tried, but it was so dark.
I didn't know if they lost their lives.
We don't know.
Yeah. I heard there was kids hanging on to trees. And then the lady was screaming, and my wife was really upset when she heard them.
Yeah. Too much of it. Loss.
In California, we've got a bit of an unusual situation. Now, this first portion of the radar cycle, fairly bland and typical, but then you see these bands of very distinct cloud cover moving into the region. That is not rain, that is not snow, believe it or not. Military aircraft flying through the region dropping chaff. Small bits of aluminum, sometimes it's made of plastic, or even metallicized paper products, but it's used as an anti-radar issue, and obviously they're up there practicing. Now, they won't confirm that, but I was in the Marine Corps for many years, and I'll tell you right now, that's what it is. 50 in Medford.
Control the weather, and he who controls the weather will control the world,
Seek ye the Lord while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near. Let the wicked forsake his way, and the unrighteous man his thoughts. And let him return unto the Lord, and he will have mercy upon him, and to our God, for he will abundantly pardon. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith the Lord. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts.